Shalom everyone, Assalamu alaikum, Islam to all the Moors. Welcome to the free Astro Theology course. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. So let's pick it up, continue a little bit more with the third house. Page 173. So, as you read, a little bit lower than the bottom half of the paragraph, the last paragraph, it says that the third house is a cadent house. So, let's get the meaning of cadent house. All right. So, cadent house. In astrology, one second. So in astrology, a cadent house is the last house of each quadrant of the zodiac. So there are 4 quadrants, right? Quadrants. A quadrant begins with an angular house, the house in which a chart angle lies, I'll show you, proceeds to the succeedent house and ends with the cadent house. So it starts with the angular, succeedent, and then cadent house. So there are 12 zodiac signs. Hold on, y'all. There are 12 zodiac signs. So there are four quadrants, so that means there are 3 zodiac signs per house. Because there are 4 quadrants. Right? 3 times 4 is 12, so 3 inside of each house. So the first zodiac sign, there are 30 days. 30 days equals 30 degrees. So, excuse me. So, the first zodiac sign, the second zodiac sign, the third zodiac sign. So each house has 3 zodiac signs. And within the 3 quadrants, there is the angular house, the succeedent house, and the cadent house. So zodiac sign 1 would be the angular house, zodiac sign 2, the succeedent house, zodiac sign 3, the cadent house. So 3, so we're dealing with the third house, which is a cadent house. So that, of course, when a season starts, its energy is very strong, right? Because it's transitioning from one season to another. Winter, summer, spring, and fall. Orientation is always going to be the north, where there are 4 seasons, right? Therefore, since the energy required to transition from one season, let's say winter, imagine the amount of energy required to transition from winter to spring. So the first day of the first month, of course, is Aries in spring in modern astrology. So that would be the angular house. Okay? So I'm going to show y'all. So the angle, I'll show you. So now that's the month. So that first 30 days, those first 30 degrees, very, very powerful energy. Then in the middle of the month, everything is fixed. It's not going to go back to winter, and it's certainly not going to go to summer, right? So it's stable right there. is very stable. It's not going back to one season, to winter or the last season, the previous season, and it's not going to jump forward to the next. And then there's the zodiac sign, the third zodiac sign, which is in the third or the third house, if you want to look at it that way. And then that third or that last 30 days, that last zodiac sign is going to transition into a new season. So spring is going to transition into summer. Y'all see? So the first month, the first 30 degrees, 30 days, 30 degrees, the first zodiac sign in that quadrant, the energy is very strong. The next month, the next 30 days, the next zodiac sign is going to be stable. It's not going to revert back to winter, and it's not going to jump forward to spring. It's stable, okay? Nothing's going to change. No matter what you do, nothing's going to change. But then in that last 30 days, that last 30 degrees, that last zodiac sign, it's going to begin to transition, right, into summer, Okay, so that's the Caden, house, that third one where it's transitioning. So in other words, the energy of spring is weakened. It's weakened in the third house. Y'all see it? It's extremely powerful in the first house, that first month, those first 30 days, those first 30 degrees, the first zodiac sign. It stabilizes during the second month, the second 30 days, the second 30 degrees, the second zodiac sign. And then in the third house, it begins to weaken during the third month, the third set of not set, but there are three, so triplet of 30 days, 30 degrees, the third zodiac sign. And then it will eventually, at the end of that zodiac sign, let's say the last few degrees, the last few days, it will fizzle out. Y'all see it? It'll fizzle out. So the Caden house is said to be weak. But anyway, let's continue. There are four quadrants in the astrological chart, providing 4 angular, 4 succeedent, and 4 Caden houses. So there are 4 quadrants. Of course, there are going to be 4 of those divisions in each one, right? It continues. I'm just reading this off of Wikipedia, y'all, so I'm not going to even show it. It's Wikipedia. Well, no, I'll show it. The Greeks called the Caden houses Apoklyma. That's weird. Apoklyma. There's something to that, y'all. Which literally means falling or decline. So the energy is falling. The energy is declining, which facilitates the beginning of the next season, which is what I just went over. All right. So because the houses were seen to be falling away from the strength of the angular houses. In other words, the strength is greatest at the beginning of the season. That makes sense, right? And then it fizzles out at the end. It gets progressively weaker toward the end. That's all that's saying. It continues. Because the houses were seen to be falling away from the strength of the angular houses, which were considered to be the most influential because of their perpendicular and oppositive relationships to the ascendant. The word apoklyma also carries a denotation of degeneration. See, degeneration and decline. Degeneration of the energy. So in other words, the energy is starts off with a bang, and then it fizzles out. Okay, it fizzles out. All right. Our English word cadent comes from the Latin translation of apoclyma and is the source of our word cadet, which originally meant a lesser branch of the family or the younger son. Cadent houses are therefore usually considered by astrologers as less fertile and productive places by their nature. Less fertile and productive places by their nature than either angular or ascendant houses. Well, that makes sense, right? Because the energy is weaker. The energy is weaker. So, for example, if well, that's obvious. I don't need to talk more about it. So let's continue. And the planets located, now here's the point. Here's what all of this is was meant to build up with. The background information was so that you would understand this. And the planets located in them are seen as generally less powerful and comfortable. So the planets that are in the third house are seen as less powerful and comfortable. Why is that? Well, because there's less energy. There's less cosmic energy. Y'all see it? That makes total sense. It makes total sense. Because remember, when we're dealing with astrology, we're dealing with cosmic energy. Cosmic energy. Not just the energy from one star or one planet, but it's the collective energy. All right? So if we're in the third house and the collective energy of spring is weak and in process of fizzling out, so you throw a planet in there, let's say whatever planet in there, it has its energy, and then the collective or just the energy of the third house, not much there. Y'all see it? It's not much there. Not much cosmic energy there. Or there's not much electromagnetic energy embedded with specific information, specific data. So it's going to have less influence. Okay? It's going to have less influence. That's really all it's saying. All right? So it says generally means most of the time, or usually. It doesn't mean 100% of the time. So generally, or the norm is that planets in the third house are less powerful and less comfortable. This view of cadency is universally found in ancient sources. For example, Paulus Alexandrinus says cadent houses, quote unquote, stars, i.e. planets, found in these Zodiac, which means houses, 3, 6, 9, and 12. Can y'all see the 3, 6, 9, and 12? They just keep coming up, right? 3, 6, 9, and 10, 12 just keeps coming up. If anybody knows any numerologists, ask them to contact me. Especially someone who has a specialty in biblical numerology, because we're dealing with astrotheology. All right. So he continues. Paulus Paulus says of Caden houses, stars or planets found in these houses become inharmonious. They become inharmonious. And sometimes they bring about hostile conditions. Well, that makes sense, right? When things are not in harmony, things can fall apart. People can fall out, right? People can fall out. Machinery can start to malfunction. So, okay, hostile conditions, all right, y'all? But what else when things are out of harmony? One nation can fall out with another nation. Family members, kinfolk can fall out. I have to correct myself. Kinfolk can fall out. Mothers and daughters, consorts, siblings can fall out. All right, due to this inharmonious conditions. Right, because remember the third house gives judgment. We went over judgment, we went over jurisdiction in the last video, judgment, jurisdiction at the level of an empire, nation or empire. For us, autochthonous Moors, Genesis chapter 2, Moors sprung from the soil who are thought made manifest, from the land who are therefore the rightful heirs to all land, all resources, air, water, cosmic energy, commerce, contracts, everything. The rightful heirs, and so therefore we are the substance and the subject matter of the law. And whatever we say is law. Okay? So the third house governs judgment, consular, jurisdiction and venue at the level of a nation and an empire, and then at the level of a household or a tent. Okay? And all of this should be what? Harmonious with natural law. In other words, we should follow the Most High's commandments, keep the Most High's commandments. All right, so it says here again that because you have this situation where the house, the third house, the Caden house is weak. The Caden house is weak. And there's a planet in there. The planet's giving off its normal energy. So it's inharmonious and it can cause hostile conditions, sometimes separations and banishments. Banishments. We're going to look up banish, okay? However, there are conditions when a planet in a Caden house can be brought up to its full strength. For example, by a reasonably closer trine to a benefic planet such as Jupiter. Now let's go into the text real quick. It says here, this is a Caden house. I'm on page 173, the last paragraph. So this is a Caden house. House number 3 is a Caden house, and the joy of the moon. For if she be posited therein, if the moon be in the third house, especially in a movable sign, okay, in a movable zodiac sign, in a movable sign, it is an argument of much travel, and that to advantage. Okay, so someone's going to be enjoying a life of traveling, and they're going to benefit from the travel. Okay, maybe they're going to benefit financially, benefit in terms of growth and development of their personality, achieve their goals, so on and so forth. Okay, bond better with their loved ones, with their consort, or Whatever their goals might be, they're going to have success. If she be there strong and beholden by Jupiter or Venus. Now, I think we just read that, right? Okay. So, however, I'm going to read it again. However, there are conditions when a planet in a Caden house can be brought up to its full strength, for example, by a reasonable close trine to a benefic planet such as Jupiter. Y'all can pause it on the replay, okay? Or Venus. Or Venus. Okay, or Venus. But if moon is afflicted here without reception, the person will always be trudging about to little purpose, going from place to place and not achieving anything, right? In other words, failing, traveling but failing. And if the head of the dragon happen to be there, he will be cheated. Okay, so that's a bad feeling, y'all. I know something about that. Traveling and being cheated. I know a whole lot about that. I think most people who travel to different countries experience being cheated. It's just the way it goes down, right? That's why when you travel to distant lands, or shoot, even if you go to Mexico, if you're in North America, even if you go to Canada, people will cheat you because they see you as a foreigner. You're not a part of the family, right? And if they're suffering, or actually I can't even say that, because the worst people in this one country that I spent a lot of time in were the rich people. They were the worst. They were the biggest criminals. They were the most criminal-minded and the most bold about it. So I can't even say it's not related to economic conditions at all. It's just a criminal mindset. That's really what it is. It's just a criminal mindset. And unfortunately, these were Moors. Moors in a Catholic country. But one of the things I noticed, y'all, in my travels is that the Catholic countries are the worst countries. I mean, the mentality of the people, they're the most criminal-minded in these Catholic countries. Absolutely criminal-minded. And they'll rob you. They'll rob you in front of the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. With baby Jesus in her hand, they will rob you. Now, I'm not talking about a person on the street robbing you. I'm talking about professionals in suits and ties, in white coats, who you would expect to be honorable. You go hire a lawyer, but of course, I figured all of through much hardship, but it was the best experience of my life, and that's the truth. Because that's where I really had my awakening. Really seeing how people get down, and then being able to use that knowledge that I had gained through extreme suffering, put my life at risk. For years, put my life at risk. But then now I'm able to see, right? I can see BS. I see. Well, it's not only because of there's some other reasons too why I can see it, but I can see personality traits in people and know to avoid them. I already been there, done that, but it really worked to my advantage. Made me a much stronger, capable man. Okay. But if moon is afflicted here without reception, the person will be always trudging about to little purpose. Now that might happen, y'all, not because of the person's poor decisions or indifference or laziness. It might be due to sabotage. It may be due to sabotage. See, all it takes is one person. And there's a famous psychologist on YouTube. I think her name is Dr. Romney. She estimated that 1 in 6 people are narcissists. 1 in 6 are narcissists. All it takes is one. All it takes is for you for any reason, and you'll never know. All it takes is for one narcissist to feel like you're getting or going to get more attention than them. That's all it takes. And that narcissist will seek to destroy you. And there's no depth that they won't stoop to destroy you. Lie on you. Get people to lie on you. Try to turn people against you. Try to turn people away from you. All the while smiling in your face, hiding. Some of them are very malignant. They'll try to befriend you. Not try, but they will befriend you as a cover, right? These are some real sick, toxic people. Very dangerous people. Befriend you to make it look like y'all have a good relationship, so when they tell someone these negative things about you, people will believe them. But the wise man or wise woman knows that an honorable man or woman never says anything negative about someone else. Never. Never. That's what wisdom in life tells you. Anybody who's talking negatively, especially things that would, what's the word for it? Sensational things that destroy a person's relationship, a person's reputation rather. Things that would destroy a person's reputation. An honorable man or woman would never do that. Why? Why? Well, for one thing, it's dishonorable. Right? It's dishonorable. So a psychiatrist once told me that the person, y'all know who else said this? And if there's a famous book called Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay? In his book, he tells you, anytime someone comes to you, giving you negative information about another person, watch that person, don't believe them. Don't believe them. Because they're unreliable. Right? It's unreliable information. And you don't know their motive. But you know they have a bad motive. Because they can't talking to you negatively about another person. Most likely the information is incorrect, and that person is trying to use you to achieve their ends, which is to turn people away from you and destroy you. Y'all go watch it. He does a fantastic job talking about these personality types who go talking bad about other people, right? And y'all know that happens a lot on YouTube. People will talk negatively about you. They never met you. They never even had a telephone call with you. And then they'll turn around and tell you that they're a prophet. They turn around and say, I'm a prophet, I'm prophetic. As to the reason why you should believe them, or to what? Establish their credibility, their authority, so you follow them. Unknowingly participating in the destruction or the sabotage, man, these mosquitoes, of someone else's life. Okay, now I experienced a lot of that from Hebrew Israelites. You know, over the years, I experienced a ton of that. But of course, it's not just the Hebrew Israelites, it's any context. Any context. So, but the interesting thing about, let's say, Hebrew Israelites or Christians or even Moors, right? Whether they're in an organization or not in an organization. See, hold on, y'all. This mosquito is bothering me. See, there are narcissists who are very flamboyant. They want you to see them. They bling, 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 right? They want you to show. They want to show you their power, all the money or all the finance that they have. They put it right there in your face. All the beautiful women, the beautiful clothes. But then there's the other type, which is the extreme opposite. They don't want to. They may be the extreme opposite in being bummy, raggedy, right? Raggedy. Don't care how they look. That's not to say that anyone who doesn't care how they look is a narcissist. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about narcissists. It's totally okay to not care about how you look. I mean, that's actually that's kind of a good thing if you don't focus on how you look, but you focus on the substance that you have, right? But the narcissists, we're talking about narcissists, not people who don't have personality disorders, but the narcissist can also be someone who doesn't care how he looks or how she looks. Okay? And these are the ones who can be involved in social issues, non-profit type of issues, social, political issues, movements, etc. But those who know these people, let's say members, let's say their heirs, their kinfolk, they know them, or people who they work closely with, people who they used to work closely with, they will describe that person as being a textbook narcissist. Okay, the personality would be textbook narcissist. They can never be wrong. They know everything, right? They're manipulative. They're extremely vindictive. Oftentimes they blow up on people. Y'all look up the definition of narcissism. So when you travel around the world, especially like me, I've traveled, I haven't been everywhere, but I've been a lot of places. And then there's a lot of people who, they enjoy traveling. And you can meet these people. You can meet a narcissist and they will try to sabotage everything you got going. I remember it happened to me here. It happened to me here. Someone tried to destroy everything. I didn't even know this person. I mean, I had some communication, but I didn't know him, right? But they tried to destroy it. I mean, literally tried to destroy me. But these people are cruel. So it doesn't have to be that a person, in this context of what we're reading in the third house, doesn't mean that they're indifferent or lazy. Doesn't mean they made bad decisions, poor analytical skills. No, it could be that somebody just targeted them for no reason other than they feel insecure that this person is going to get more attention than them. I'll give you an example. For example, something as ridiculous as this. Let's say someone, okay, since I'm teaching now. Let's say someone hears you teaching. People are talking about it. You're very talented. Something like that, right? They hear about it. And now they feel threatened. Now they really feel threatened. They really, if they had a chance, they would maybe exterminate you. This is how they feel inside. I know it sounds crazy. Most people can't relate to that. Well, 1 in 6 people can relate to that. But that's how it is. And you, let's say you're the victim, the target. You have no idea what's happening. Yeah, you have no idea what's happening. But this narcissist now has targeted you. Right? And the only way they can maintain their position, which is what they're about, right, is to destroy you, destroy your character, destroy your means to earn a living, destroy your reputation, destroy everything about you. And if they fail at doing that, and they enjoy it, y'all, it feels good to them. They get pleasure. They're sadistic. Many of them are sadistic. They enjoy it. And if they fail at that, now they want to do you bodily harm. Okay? And they will recruit people, they call them flying monkeys. They will recruit people in to help them do it. But of course, these people won't know because these people are master manipulators. They're puppet masters. Anyway, that's enough of that. So let's continue. And if the dragon's head happened to be there, he will be cheated. We just went over the mechanism of how a lot of people get cheated. Right? You don't have to be irresponsible, naive, and stupid. No. You can just be targeted. Just maybe, you could be, you could be amongst colleagues. Let's say you got your gear on or whatever. Nice gear. Well, let me correct that. Let's say you have one, let's make it more funny. You have on spectacular clothing. You have on spectacular clothing. You got your hair, well, however you're wearing your hair, or maybe you got but let me correct that. You have on a beautiful turban or a beautiful fez, beautiful shoes, rings, however you do you. And then, let's say you're talking with a group of people, and someone gives you a compliment. Well, the narcissist sees that. Now the narcissist is now feeling threatened. And he goes into that extreme, or she goes into that extreme craziness that I just told y'all about. And now you, not having done anything, and you don't know anything, but now you become the target of this vicious, toxic, malicious person. Okay? Anyway, let's continue. And that's going to be the mechanism of you getting robbed and abused in your travel. And trust me, y'all, there are a lot of vicious people when you travel. And many of them might be local people, especially, people when they see me, they, and I'm not just saying me, I'm talking about me because I'm me. Some people will say, oh, that guy is from America. This is what they think. And then they think, all of the stereotypes about an American in their mind happen, right? And if they attempt to cheat me and then they're not successful, now they hate me. Now they want to destroy me. I kid you not, y'all. I kid you not. Especially if other people find out. Now they have to make you look like a bad guy in order to justify or hide what the dirty stuff they've been doing to you. Okay, they call it saving face. Or that's one aspect of saving face. They will lie on you. Oh, it's terrible, terrible. But these are that's the negative side about traveling to other countries, okay? That's the negative side. You really got to be on your P's and Q's. And most of the people in Asia, they'll pretend to be your friend. A lot of them will pretend to be perfect angels. Perfect angels. But they intend on destroying you, or robbing you, cheating you. And the way you know it is by watching their actions. Or say no directly and you will catch hell. Say no indirectly, it's not going to be as bad. But most of them will still come after you. Okay? Most will still come after you, meaning that they'll spread lies about you. They'll try to, it's crazy, y'all. They'll try to get sellers. They'll try to get other people who are sellers. Like you go into a market, they'll try to get them not to sell to you because you wouldn't buy for them because you knew that they were charging you 3-4 times more than what that product cost. I kid you not. Really low level, crazy stuff, y'all. It's the kind of stuff that will make you not want to deal with them, Okay, so we're finished. Oh, I forgot. One other thing about the third house. So Mars. Let's look at Mars, and then we're going to look at the colors of the third house, which are red, yellow, and surreal. So red, where y'all want to start? Let's start with the colors. Red, yellow, and surreal first. I almost forgot. So anyway, this is Wikipedia, the Wikipedia article I showed. So y'all can research this further. I prefer, I'm only using Wikipedia. Oh, man. I'm only using Wikipedia because I don't have anything else to show you about this. And y'all can do further research if you want. But again, notice the cadent houses are 3, 6, 9, and 12. So, all right. So now y'all see everything that I presented to you. Okay? So now let's go to red. Go to red, yellow. So red and yellow, these are the colors of what, y'all? Fire. Red and yellow are the colors of fire. So which fire is hot, is the most, is hotter? Blue or red and yellow? So give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Hold on, y'all. All right, so let me show y'all this. So I'm gonna read from this. Y'all can pause this on the video. Hold on. Oops, hold on. So you can pause it, all right? Give me 1 second. And then that's the last part. So I just Google searched, hold on. Okay, so the temperature and color of flames depend on what is combusting. In other words, what are you burning? The higher the heat at which a substance is burned is a part of determining what color the flame will be. Hold on, y'all. Let me get rid of this ad. Okay, so within commonly seen fires, the hottest flames burn blue. So the hottest flames are blue, right? I think most of us remember that from chemistry class. As heat descends in temperature, in other words, as the temperature gets less hot, right? In other words, it's heat, but it's cooler. So, right, it's a lower temperature. As heat descends or goes down in temperature, flames appear white, yellow, orange, bright red, and then dark blue. So let's continue. Burning specific things at the right temperature in the right situation creates flames with novel colors, new colors, y'all, new colors, like pink, green, and black. All right. When an atom is heated, its electrons jump to a higher energy level than they would normally exist. This is because the heat's thermal energy becomes kinetic energy and causes the electrons to accelerate. The acceleration is dramatic enough that it pushes electrons into a higher orbital than the one they're usually in. When these excited electrons fall from their higher orbitals back down to their normal orbital, they emit photons. These specific photons are often perceived as light. All right, y'all? The photons are perceived as light by humans. Depending on the substance, it takes a certain amount of heat for light to be produced. This light varies based on what is burning. Okay? So here we have yellow. So this is the house that, so remember, the stars are said to be what? Fire. They're said to be fire. Okay, fire. So this is the mechanism of the light. Broadly speaking, the mechanism of the light that's being produced, these photons. Okay? The houses are stars and fire. Okay, so in other words, the stars are fire. I'm getting tongue twisted. Hold on. Yellow flames are the most common flames created by humans. It is the predominant color seen in campfires and candle flames. A typical yellow fire starts burning at 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 0 is 3, plus 0 is 3 is 3. So now we're back with 3 again. Okay, so of course humans would be the Han Uman as distinguished from man. Okay? Yellow flames are the most common flames created by man. Yellow is the predominant color seen in campfires and candle flames. A typical yellow fire starts burning at 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 0 is 3, plus 0 is 3. We're back at 3 again. Okay? The most common elements found in molecules that create these yellow flames are iron and sodium. Okay, so let's go to red so we can find the red. Okay, discovering red flames. In instances like fireworks where red is seen, the chemicals most likely causing the color are strontium chloride or strontium nitrate, chromium, and also burns brick red, while mercury creates a red flame. Hold on, y'all. Let me skip. I don't want to go through that part. But y'all can go through this information on your own if you're interested in it. It'd be a good science project for your little ones, right? It's a good science project for your little ones. So now, of colors, back to page 173 in the astrology of the Old Testament. Of colors, the third house has red, yellow, and cereal, a mixed color. So, obviously, right? Obviously, right? Because the most intense heat, the hottest heat is blue. And as the heat cools down, it goes down to red and yellow, etc. So, what is this? So that's tracking. That's tracking the first quadrant, the first 30 days, the first 30 degrees, the first zodiac sign being the most intense heat. Okay, which is the first house, second house, third house. I'm sorry, not house, but it's the first angular house, and then the succeeding house, and then the cadent house. Okay, so we'll go from the hottest flame to the least hottest flame. In other words, the greatest amount of energy, and then the energy fizzles out. Y'all see it? So of colors, it has red, yellow, and sorrow. Let's look at sorrow. I found this very interesting. Now y'all know that the sun is gonna, when you look in the sky, the sun might look yellow and it might look like an orangish red, right? Give me 1 second. So this is a sorrow colored horse. I don't know if y'all can see that. This is a sorrow colored horse. Okay, it's a mix between yellow and red. It's a mix between yellow and red. Of course, that's going to be various shades of orange on the color scale, but in nature, it's going to be like a reddish brown or reddish copper. Let me show y'all the image that I have. And this image is a great image, because in religion, well, not only in religion, but in politics, y'all read that. Now read the part where at the bottom of the image it says sorrow. It says, talking about the horse's body color reddish, or what, y'all? Copper red. So the color here is reddish or copper red. So for the Hebrew Israelites, this horse is not transparent, but it's reddish and copper red. It's a brownish color. Y'all see that? It's a brownish color. So of course this goes to the topic of Esau, right? When Esau came out, he was what? Ruddy. Ruddy means red. He was ruddy and hairy all over. Well, here you go. This is ruddy. This is ruddy and also hairy all over. This is ruddy and hairy all over. Okay? Surreal. So that kind of puts a but of course there's much more. Let me rephrase that. The tail is surreal, but the horse's body is what, y'all? The horse's body is red. Really hard to hold. So when you go to Southeast Asia, you'll see the Moor, many Moors, they have a goldish color, but it's surreal. It's surreal. So in this case, they're saying that the horse's tail is surreal. Okay, so who's the copper colored indigenous people that the Europeans found in America? Well, they look like me, right? And you. Okay, so this makes calling Esau the quote-unquote white man very difficult, right? Right? It kind of destroys that once you study this, because ruddy means brown, reddish brown, or like they say what? Reddish or copper red. So in other words, he looked just like us, except for Esau was what? Hairy. The only difference between Esau and us was he was hairy all over. That's all. Okay, so the third house is what, y'all? It is a masculine house. It is a masculine house. So it's not talking about masculine as a man or sexual gender. No. It's talking about masculine as an energy, as in the opposite energy of feminine. Y'all can pause it on the replay. All right. So let's look at Mars. But anyway, let me make the point. Red and orange, red and yellow, when you mix it, becomes, if it's 50-50, 50% red, 50% yellow, it's going to be perfect orange. If it's weighted any other way, it's going to be more toward a darker orange, closer to red, or more toward a lighter yellow, okay, closer to yellow, depending on the proportions that you mix, okay? That's on the color scale. But in nature, surreal is like the color of a horse. You know, not the dark brown, but the reddish brown, or the golden type of brown, or a squirrel, or a cow, right? Mars. Okay. Mars. So this is coming from astrology.com. Mars planet meaning in astrology. So let's take a look at that. Y'all know I'm not an astrologer, right? Mars is the action planet of the Zodiac. The red planet, okay? The red planet that tracks with one of the colors of the third house is red. Y'all see? Okay. The red planet, after all, should be pretty fiery. And Mars does not disappoint. Energy, passion, drive, and determination are all right up Mars' alley. This planet commands you, and yes, Mars does rule the military. Well, military, that's talking about what? At the national level, right? Not at the level of a household. But can a man have a military? Absolutely. Can a woman have a military? Absolutely. Can groups have militias? Absolutely. Okay. All right. To stand up, be noticed, and get things done. Mars commands you to stand up, be noticed, and get things done. Sitting on the sidelines belongs somewhere else in the heavens. So now let's say you stand up, you get noticed, and you get things done. But if moon is afflicted here, without reception, the person will always be trudging about to little purpose. And if the dragon's tail happened to be there, he will be cheated. Even though you stood up, you got noticed, and you were working to get things done. You might run into a narcissist. But anyway, let's keep it going. Y'all see how how all of this comes together? Is very logical. Simply put, Mars speaks to power. Let me rephrase that. Simply put, Mars speaks to the power and confident expression of the individual. So, let me go back to the sentence. It says here, the planet Mars is not so unfortunate in the third house as some think, unless he be joined to Saturn by conjunctions or aspects. Okay, y'all? Those are the conditions. So Mars is not going to be unfortunate in the third house unless it's conjoined to Saturn by conjunction or aspect. Okay? So you will get noticed, very probable that you'll get noticed by a narcissist and become the target of a narcissist. And you'll never see it coming unless you have experience dealing with narcissists, dealing with flying monkeys, unless you know their moves, unless you can spot them. You're easy work. You are easy work. Okay. Aggression is part of the plan here, although Mars also values courage and honor. Assertion and the daring, fearless nature please this planet. Oh, wow. You are big time going to come under, and the narcissist is going to see you and, what's the word, have a something fit? Is it a wussy fit? I don't remember. Let me see how it reads. Let's read something about Mars. I don't really trust reading about astrology on the internet. I only trust the old books. I only trust the old books, y'all. So I do remember, hold on. Let me try to remember what page it's on about Mars. So let's read up a little bit about Mars. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. Where was it that the author discusses Mars? Y'all see what I got in store for y'all. I don't see it, y'all, and I'm lazy to look for it today. Where did I see Mars? There's the author goes through each planet. All right, let me go back. It's worth it. See, where's Mars? Hold on. Page 141. I knew it was somewhere around there. (141). One second, y'all. Let me find Mars. Okay, so page 150, page 150. The astronomical or astrological character of the planet Mars, representing a shield and dart, indicating the martial character, martial military character of this planet. Mars rules over and rejoices in all matters of violence. Horse racing, horses, right, military, right, horse racing, and struggles of any kind. And all violent outdoor exercise. Over all dealers in hardware, cutlery, and martial instruments, weapons. Over explosions, fires, and conflagrations, inflammations. So inflammation, heat, right? Inflammatory fevers, heat, acute and sharp pains, all pains that come from heat, and all such diseases as are fiery. These are inflammatory diseases, right, that are fiery, red, okay? So if there's inflammation, it's going to be red and hot. Over surgeons, dentists, butchers. So surgeons, they cut, right? They cut. Dentists do surgery, right? They do dental surgery. Butchers, they're cutting meat. And martial men, remember the sword, okay, cutting. Railroad employees, soldiers, armed policemen, and warriors of all peoples. Over the flaming, red-headed, and violent-tempered, over petty lawyers, but not judges or the upper class advocates, right? Because why, y'all? They need to appear to be neutral and good. Okay? They need to appear to be honorable. Okay? Over lawsuits, but not judgments. Well, this is for the same reason, right? The judgments need to appear to be fair. Over iron machinery, iron burns red. Remember, y'all? Over locomotives, mechanics, railroads, and all matters of iron and steel to make military weapons, right? Instruments made of the same. When Mars is ill-dignified or cadent, so Mars is in a cadent house, Mars is in the third house, or retrograde, or any detriment, Mars then represents and rules over burglars and murderers and all violent deeds, all railroad disasters. And in the same, there must also be some evil aspect of the moon. This is the moon. I believe he's talking about the moon, the dragon the dragon's tail. But I'm not an astrologist, y'all. Astrologer, rather. So I wish we had someone who could speak, expertly on what we're dealing with right now. Okay, especially in a evil aspect of the moon and Uranus. Troubles of iron ships, fires, and battles and murders. Mars' color is the blood red. Mars rules in mines of iron, red hematite, red ochre, and such like. So anything, y'all, that's red, especially dark blood red. These things determinable from the signs Mars may be in. Okay. So the sign in the house Mars is in. As are all the planets. Mars is Lord of Aries and Scorpio, or has these two signs for his houses. Okay, so Mars has the signs Aries and Scorpio for his houses. His essential and accidental dignities, detriment, fall, terms, and faces are to be found in the table on essential dignities and debilities. Mars in Hebrew is Ashles. Of course, that's biblical Hebrew. They just made it up. The flaming star. So it means that they made, when I say they made it up, they made up the grammar rules. They made up the pictographs. Okay? So again, Mars is the flaming star. It's a planet, but in the Hebrew it's called the flaming star. The first three characters or letters, that would be the first three pictographs, Shalesh. Now that's not how it's pronounced in the ancient Ibaryath or the ancient Hebrew, Canaanite, Phoenician, or Phoenician Canaanite. That's not the pronunciation. There are no vowels. Or number three. The first three characters or letters, they show these three pictographs, and here's the pronunciation. Shalesh, or number three, mean also a general or commander, so that's back to military. The third day of the week, y'all see we're dealing with threes again, right? Why all these threes? The third day of the week, Tuesday, or Mar, as in Mars, or Mardai, is under the influence of the warrior planet. The first hour of sunrise and the 8th hour being Mars planetary hours. As before shown, well, 1 plus 8 is 9, and 9 reduces down to 3, right? 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. Y'all see that? So let's continue. And Aries, the zodiac, let's continue. The cock was dedicated to Mars by the Buddhist. Wow. There's a lot to that, y'all, what he just said right there. And Aries, the zodiac sign, the stronghold of Mars. Isn't that interesting? Aries is the Lamb of God. Jesus is the Lamb of God. Get that straight. The historical Jesus is the Lamb of God. Astrologically speaking, Aries is the Lamb of God. The S-U-N sun, the S-O-N sun is ascending. Okay, well, let's look at it this way. Christianity is ascending, gaining prominence. Look, what is it though? What is it? And Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, was in early Christian times represented as a cock. Wow, who was it? Was it Paul? Was it Peter? Peter? Peter said that, JC said that Peter would not betray him until the cock crows. How many times, y'all? 3 times. So here's 3 again. And Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, was in Christian times represented as a cock. Of course, the cock, let me show y'all. Let me show you. You see for yourself about this cock. And where is Hiram Abiff, y'all? Where is Hiram Abiff? Hiram Abiff is dead, civilly dead, with his head lying in the east in Aries. And his feet in Libra, or his feet in the scales. His feet in the scales. In other words, justice has been executed. Right, y'all? Right? This has so much meaning. I can't wait until I get into the other topic about the circumpolar zodiac projection. Of which they who promoted and did away with the circumpolar zodiacal projection, which is focused on the North Pole and South Pole of space, with the North Star and the 7 stations. Y'all know what they said. They said the ancient, the first, the original, the aboriginal, the autochthonous Moors have their origin in the North. In the North. All right? In the North. And then something happened. A cataclysmic event happened that changed the, what is it called, y'all? The Earth is rotating, change the axis of the Earth. So that now, time couldn't be properly kept. This is what they're saying. Time could not be properly kept according to the ancient way, which was, well, I don't want to get into, I don't want to give it away. But let it suffice at that. So they shifted. They hid the circumpolar zodiac projection and created or focused on the solar zodiac projection. And then they said, so now there's instead of a respect and appreciation for the northern stars, northern constellations, now they started worshiping the sun, according to the author I'm getting this information from. Y'all heard? And then as a result of this, y'all know what they said? They said that the autochthonous Moor, the aboriginal people, don't have a soul. They don't have a soul. They don't have a soul. Why? Because they're the original people. And their place is in the north. They ain't got nothing to do with the solar zodiacal projection. They don't have a soul. But remember, the S-O-U-L is the S-O-L. S-O-L in Latin, soul, is the S-U-N, sun, that we look up in the sky every day and we can see it. Transitions morning to night and night to morning. They said we don't have a soul. Well, wait a minute. It's quite obvious we don't have a soul because the Catholic Church made this S-O-U-L soul thing up. So what are they saying? Well, we don't have a soul. We don't have a S-U-N sun that we worship. Why? Because we guided our life by the northern, or the north and the south pole. All right, those constellations. We were not living our life according to the S-U-N sun that we see in the sky. So we don't have a sun. We don't have a sun that guides our life. S-U-N sun. Y'all got it? So it's a play on words. We don't have a S-O-U-L soul. So most people are going to think religion. No. No. I hope y'all get my point. But anyway, let's keep going. So let's look at the rooster. I forgot the name of the thing on his head. So y'all see the thing on his head, I forgot what it's called. It has a name. Okay, that's supposed to look like the sun. Okay? That thing on his head is supposed to look like the sun. Y'all see it? It's supposed to be the sun, or symbolic of the sun. Y'all can learn more about that in the Devil's Pulpit. Just use your imagination. Y'all see the rays of the sun when the sun is coming up in the morning over the horizon? Y'all see these peaks or these projections on the rooster's head? These are rays of the sun, the rays of the sun. All right? JC wore a what? A crown of thorns. The rays of the sun. There's another one. This is actually even better. Okay? Don't that look like a sun, y'all? Imagine in the morning, the sun coming up. Let's say over the ocean, over the lake. The crown of thorns worn by the Statue of Liberty. So the rooster does what? Keeps track of the time, right? If you live in, let's say if you live in the country, if you domicile in the country or in Southeast Asia, the roosters will start at about 4:30 in the morning. The roosters are already making noise to let you know what time it is. Okay? So remember, astrology or the celestial bodies are about what, y'all? Signs and seasons. So time. Time is one of the things. So there you have it. Okay, y'all? And Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, was in early Christian times represented as a cock. Aries was represented as a cock. Y'all see that? Aries was represented as a cock in early Christian times. Wow, so that means before Aries was represented as a lamb, it was represented as a cock. So y'all can get more on that in the Devil's Pulpit. The Buddhists also assigned the third day of the week to Mars. So there we have it again. Right? 3. So let me see. Let's say Mars is retrograde 80 days, stationary before retrograde 2 or 3 days, and stationary before turning direct 2 days, and after but 1 day. Mars governs wholly the watery triplicity of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. When Mars retrogrades in Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus, he produces dire evils. Mars is a masculine nocturnal planet, in nature hot and dry, caloric and fiery, that's heat, right? The lesser, unfortunate, or evil, author of quarrels, strifes, and contentions. When well dignified, Mars feats of war and courage invincible, scorning any emulation, subject to no reason, bold confidence, immovable contentions, valiant, a lover of war, and hazarding all perils, willingly will submit to no one. Wow. Willingly will submit to no one. I'm thinking how that might relate to us challenging jurisdiction and the proper venue for Moorish Americans being consular court, consular jurisdiction and venue. Mars will submit to no one, neither willing to obey, boastful, caring for nothing but victory, but prudent in his own affairs. Now I understand why Mars is in the 3rd house now. If all dignified, then Mars is a prattler, neither modest nor dignified, a lover of slaughter and quarrels, a housebreaker, a burglar, thief, or murderer, full of seditions and commotions. Remember, 3rd house has to do with judgment between brothers, judgment, y'all. A highwayman, a traitor, obscene, rash, inhumane, unthankful, treacherous, oppressive, ravenous, a cheat, furious, violent, a ravisher, a perjurer. A Mars person is generally of middle stature, strong body, big bone, rather lean than fat, complexion ruddy, brown, or high colored. Round visage, hair red or sandy, flaxen and often crispy or curly. Crispy. Sharp hazel eyes. Y'all got that sharp hazel, that's recessive, right? So these things are recessive, right? Red hair is recessive. Sandy hair is recessive. Piercing sight, bold and confident look, and an active and fearless person. When Mars is oriental, when Mars is in the east, he signifies a valiant person. Color some white mixed with redness, decently tall, and hairy of body. When occidental or west, which would be Libra, that area, the other side, right? The other side. So east and west. So when Mars is in Libra, so yeah, when Mars is occidental, west, very ruddy complexion. So that's very brown, very what? Very copper red, very brown, right? Not pale, not translucent, but mean of stature, little head, smooth body, and not hairy. Yellow hair, so blonde hair, and stiff. So he's talking about a hybrid now, y'all. Definitely talking about a hybrid, because he's talking about a blonde, CMB, clock of destiny, and the natural humor is dry. So no sense of humor. If significator of rulers, they are generally oppressive and tyrannical. The diseases of Mars, gallbladder, the left ear, tertian fevers, pestilent burning fevers, megrims in the head, so migraines, carbuncles, plague, all plague sores, burning, boils, ringworms, blisters, frenzies, mad sudden, and head distemper, yellow jaundice, so liver problem, maybe hepatitis, right? Bloody flux or dysentery, fistulas, all wounds and diseases in the genitals, gravel or stone, and so kidney stones, scars, smallpox on the face, all hurts from iron and steel, the shingles, okay? So shingles, chicken pox and shingles, and all diseases arising from color, anger, and passion. The Mars person delights in red or yellow or yellowish red color, blood color, and colors fiery and shining like saffron, and in savors and flavors which are bitter, sharp, and burn the tongue. See herbs, for herbs, see culpepper, also of trees. And then he goes on to talk about what Mars rules over. I'm not going to go over that. Mars rules over the third planet. Mars rules over the third climate. So there we are, 3 again, which is Samarita, Lumbar. This is page 153. He that hath Mars and Venus in any aspect at birth will certainly have a love affair, either good or evil, about the 19th year of life. So 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 is 9. You find that out from CMB, Clock of Destiny. And then, of course, 9 reduces to 3. So here we are at 3 again. He goes on to say, or age of Mars, a discretionary period, which is a little short of 19 years. There we are again. And an apt time for mar-age. Mar-age, marriage. 19 is a good time for marriage. Mar-age. M-A-R-hyphen-A-G-E, or marriage. Wow, so that's where marriage is coming from, y'all. Gee. Now I guess we know why the whole marriage game is so bad. So let's go back to, I'm tired, y'all. I think I need to take about a week off, to be honest with you, just to recuperate. All right, so next video, we're going to go through the fourth house, which signifies the father, the end of all matters, the grave, old people in general, lands, houses, tenements, real estate, inheritances. That says a lot, right, y'all? Tilling the earth. The first man, Adam, was what? A landscaper. He tilled the earth. And then as a punishment, he would have to till the earth. He'd have to struggle, right, just to survive. Hidden treasure mines. Hidden treasure mines. And the end or conclusion of any manner undertaken. This seems like it's going to be interesting. Oh, the fifth house has to do with judgment concerning the children of the native or of the Moor or Quorn. Ambassadors. Okay, y'all. All right. So both of these houses are also involving consular jurisdiction and our inheritance, right? Civics. These are issues that are covered in the treaty. Have y'all noticed that? If you look at page 74, it says land. Well, first of all, old people, lands, houses, tenements. These are things that were what? Escheated from us. Our property that was taken. Then it says what? The state and condition of towns, cities, castles, forts, gardens. And then talking about purchasing. Well, of course, land can't be sold. So what are they talking about? They're talking about the, what's that word? Size something. They're talking about a foreigner coming in and putting a deed on the land and selling the deed, and you got a mortgage, and basically beating you out of your stuff, or just outright robbing, exterminating to get your land, and then they're going to put a deed and a mortgage on it. And then so how do we get it back? So now we're dealing again with the treaty, right, y'all? Constitution and treaty. It says here the Lord, the landlord, okay? Wow. The north angle. Then that was the fourth house. Then the fifth house talks about judgment concerning the children. That doesn't necessarily mean, y'all, disagreements between siblings, does it? No. It could also be their inheritance. Ambassadors. The state of a woman with child. Oh, the status of a woman with child. Okay? The civil status of a woman with child. Bondage or free. Y'all see it? Okay, it goes on to talk about messengers, agents of merchants, and of trading by sea. So, y'all, we're dealing with international law. Consular jurisdiction and venue. Y'all see it? It denotes the wealth of the father, okay? The ammunition of a town, castle, or city besieged. The color is black, dark, or honey color. Now I'm reading between the lines. So if the color is black, the denotative meaning, not ancient, the denotative meaning of black is shiny, bright. Shiny, bright, like the sun. All right, y'all. I'm tired. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, y'all. Islam to all the Moors. I'll be back on the next one.